What drives a seemingly dedicated nurse to become one of the most notorious figures in medical crime history? Today we unravel the perplexing case of Lucy Letby, a former neonatal nurse whose career took a dark and mysterious turn. Lucy was once a trusted healthcare professional, working diligently in a neonatal unit where the stakes are nothing less than the lives of newborns. Her role was pivotal, caring for the most vulnerable, the infants who required the utmost attention and medical expertise. However, beneath the surface of her professional demeanor, a chilling narrative began to unfold. Allegations surfaced accusing Lucy of the unthinkable, the harm of multiple infants under her care. The contrast is jarring. How does one reconcile the image of a caregiver, dedicated to nursing the fragile back to health, with the grim accusations of causing deliberate harm? This stark contradiction between caregiver and alleged criminal sets the stage for our deep dive into the Lucy Letby case. Every story has a beginning, and Lucy Letby starts in Hereford, 1990. Born in this quaint English town, Lucy grew up with what many would describe as a normal childhood. Her academic journey was marked by a keen interest in healthcare, which eventually led her to pursue a career in nursing. After rigorous years of study, she earned her degree and embarked on her professional path. Lucy's career began at the Countess of Chester Hospital, where she joined the neonatal unit. This role seemed a perfect fit. It was here that Lucy first demonstrated her enthusiasm for providing care to the most vulnerable, newborn infants. Colleagues recall her as dedicated and compassionate, often going beyond the call of duty to assist her tiny patients and their anxious families. But beneath this veneer of dedication, something more complex was stirring. With a promising career ahead, no one could have predicted the dark turn events would soon take. It was not until a sharp increase in unexpected infant collapses and deaths that suspicions began to arise. Between the years 2015 and 2016, the neonatal unit at the hospital experienced an alarming spike in severe health crises among newborns. These were not just random sporadic incidents, they followed a chilling and inexplicable pattern. The staff, who had dedicated their careers to the care and survival of the most vulnerable, began to notice that these life-threatening events curiously coincided with the shifts of one particular nurse. Initially dismissed as a harrowing coincidence, the frequency of these incidents painted a more sinister picture as time went on. Conversations whispered in the hallways of the hospital slowly turned into formal meetings behind closed doors. Hospital administration, grappling with the weight of the situation, launched a discreet internal investigation. They began by analyzing medical records, staffing rosters, and surveillance footage. The objective was clear: to determine if these were mere medical anomalies or if something more nefarious was at play. As the data started to align too neatly with the presence of Nurse Letby, the internal concerns escalated. With each passing day, the anomalies became harder to write off as mere coincidences. The administration faced a difficult truth. The pattern of events suggested a disturbing possibility that someone within their ranks could be intentionally harming these innocent lives. With the pattern becoming impossible to ignore, hospital authorities were compelled to look closer. As the investigation deepened, the focus sharply turned towards Lucy Letby. What began as an internal review quickly escalated, catching the vigilant eyes of external law enforcement. With each passing day, the intensity of scrutiny increased, as did the stakes. Authorities were no longer just piecing together medical records. They were delving into the very fibers of Letby's professional life. Forensic teams combed through the hospital where Letby worked, gathering every possible piece of evidence. Syringes, medication logs, and computer records were scrutinized with utmost precision. The digital footprints left behind on hospital databases became crucial, revealing anomalies that were hard to ignore. As the forensic experts worked, the silhouette of a disturbing pattern began to emerge, one that pointed increasingly towards Letby. Simultaneously, colleagues who had once worked alongside Letby were re-interviewed. Their initial testimonies, once thought to be clear, now took on new significance under the lens of suspicion. Every interaction, every unusual occurrence was re-evaluated, weaving a tighter net around Letby. As the investigation continued, the accumulation of evidence started painting a darker picture. Unexplained inconsistencies in Letby's work shifts, peculiarities in her handling of medications, and her presence during multiple incidents at the hospital, all these factors slowly morphed from coincidental to suspicious. The pieces of a grim puzzle began to fall into place, pointing investigators in an unsettling direction. In a chilling turn of events, Lucy Letby was arrested in July 2018. The news broke early in the morning as law enforcement converged on her home. signaling a dramatic climax to a haunting investigation. The public and media were immediately gripped by the unfolding story, with live feeds and headlines proliferating across digital and traditional media platforms. Cameras captured the moment Letby, a neonatal nurse, was led away in handcuffs, her expression unreadable. The charges brought against her were grave and numerous. Letby faced 8 counts of murder and an additional 10 counts of attempted murder, all involving newborn infants under her care. This announcement sent shockwaves through the community, igniting a mix of outrage, fear, and profound disbelief. The arrest not only dominated news cycles but also sparked intense discussions about the safety protocols in healthcare institutions and the mechanisms for reporting and preventing such heinous acts. With Letby behind bars, a community and nation struggled to comprehend the betrayal of trust. The trial of Lucy Letby not only captivated but also horrified the nation. As the courtroom doors swung open, the air was thick with anticipation. The key moments of this high-profile case were meticulously scrutinized by the media, broadcasting every detail to a global audience. The prosecution presented a chilling array of evidence which painted a disturbing picture of a healthcare professional who had crossed the darkest of lines. Witness testimonies were particularly harrowing. Colleagues and parents of the affected infants took the stand, their voices often breaking as they recounted their experiences. The emotional weight of their words hung heavy in the courtroom, leaving many in attendance visibly moved. On the other side, the defense put forth a vigorous argument. They questioned the reliability of the evidence, suggesting contamination and procedural errors could have skewed the results. They painted Lucy Letby as a dedicated nurse, caught in a tragic series of coincidences that unfairly placed her at the center of suspicion. Throughout the trial, the public reaction was a mixture of outrage, disbelief, and an overwhelming sadness. People followed the case not only through traditional news outlets but also on social media, where debates raged over the nature of the crimes and the integrity of the justice system. The case, with its blend of mystery and tragedy, became a touchstone for discussions about trust in healthcare professionals. Internationally, the story resonated with many, drawing parallels to other notorious medical professionals in history. It prompted a broader discourse on the mechanisms of monitoring and safeguarding vulnerable patients in medical facilities across the world. As the trial progressed, it became more than just a legal proceeding. It was a public litmus test on morality and justice in modern society. The courtroom drama, the devastated families, and a defendant who remained an enigma. All these elements combined to hold the public in a tight grip of fascination and horror. As the gavel sounded, the case left an indelible mark on public consciousness, raising unsettling questions about the nature of evil. Understanding the why behind such heinous acts remains the most baffling aspect of criminal cases. When delving into the motivations of Lucy Letby, we encounter a complex web of theories and expert analyses that attempt to shed light on what might have driven her to commit such unthinkable crimes. Firstly, some psychologists propose that Letby might have suffered from a personality disorder, potentially linked to antisocial or narcissistic traits, which could manifest in a desire to control life and death situations. This theory suggests that the power to decide the fate of vulnerable infants could have given her a godlike feeling, a dangerous thrill for someone possibly harboring such disorders. Another theory revolves around the concept of Munchausen by proxy, a psychiatric disorder where a caregiver fabricates or induces illness in those they care for to gain attention and sympathy. While direct evidence linking Letby to this specific disorder is scarce, the pattern of her actions, whereby the health of seemingly stable patients deteriorated inexplicably under her care, mirrors some aspects of this condition. Environmental factors also play a crucial role in our understanding. The high-pressure environment of the neonatal unit, combined with potential understaffing and lack of adequate supervision, might have provided both opportunity and a perceived justification for her actions. Some experts argue that in her twisted perception, Letby might have believed she was sparing families the prolonged suffering of a sick child, or reacting to the intense stress and demands of her role. Societal influences, including the portrayal of nurses and the expectations placed upon them, could also have impacted her psyche. In a profession where care and compassion are paramount, the betrayal of these values by committing such acts suggests a profound disconnection from societal norms and the very essence of her profession. While the court delivered its verdict, the enigmatic motivations of Lucy Letby continue to stir debates and discussions. The true depth of her reasons may remain obscured, a chilling reminder of the complexities of human psychology and the mysteries that still pervade the understanding of criminal minds. As we conclude our exploration into the Lucy Letby case, many questions linger. Throughout this journey, we delve deep into her early years, the disturbing patterns that emerged during her tenure as a nurse, the intensification of the investigation, and the subsequent arrest and trial that captivated public attention. Each segment of this story not only unraveled a series of chilling events, but also painted a complex picture of a person many thought they knew. Reflecting on this case, we see its profound impact on the healthcare system, highlighting the need for more stringent oversight and robust psychological evaluations for healthcare professionals. It underscores an unsettling breach of trust, a trust that is foundational to societal function. Patients and their families place their lives in the hands of professionals, believing in their oath to do no harm. The mystery of Lucy Letby's motivations serves as a dark reminder of the complexities of human behavior, forever challenging our perceptions of good and evil.